Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have the latest from the live radar, run through the weather warnings. We are going to see some thunderstorms over the next few days and they could be pretty severe in places. We are mainly focused on parts of England and Wales, fairly isolated through Friday but could be severe in places, as I said, and then as we head into the weekend could become more widespread across much of England and Wales, and we could see lots of torrential rain, thunder, lightning, and all the usual impacts. We'll have a look at that in detail on the latest UKV and the Arome runs, as that does look like to be the theme for many parts of England and Wales through the weekend and into the start of next week, before it starts to turn properly unsettled once again. Proper autumnal conditions coming for the middle of next week, with quite a deep area of low pressure developing around Wednesday, Thursday. It does clear quite quickly through Friday and Saturday, remaining windy and perhaps wet in the east, and then it unlocks the door to very cold northerly winds once again. So it's all changing from summery conditions through today and the past few days to thundery conditions through the weekend to unsettled for the middle part of next week, and then turning cold as we head into the following weekend. Things are still subject to change, but that's how it looks like it could be shaping up at the moment. So we could be seeing 4 different seasons in the space of the next 10 days or so, all over the place, and we'll look at that all in detail in this video. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. Remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now if you start on the live radar, it is calm, dry and warm at the moment. Recording this around 9:45 on Thursday evening, so most of you will be watching this probably through Friday, and it will still be another pleasant day on Friday. Maybe not quite as warm as Thursday or the prior days, but it still will be very pleasant, just with a few thunderstorms around. But this evening, you can see it is pretty stunning. Clear skies, really still quite warm. Look at that, still a bit of orange towards the south coast. That's sort of temperatures you expect to be seeing in August, perhaps not in the second half of September. Now August, of course, was only 3 or 4 weeks ago, but this time of year, those temperatures do rapidly drop as we do lose a good few minutes of sunlight every single day, and we do slowly get those colder air masses starting to head our way. So it really is quite impressive, the sort of temperatures we are seeing at the moment. Now, if you go over to net weather, you can see the top temperatures today were widely 24 to 25 degrees, and 25.8 there in Heathrow, so rounded 26, pretty much what we expected. And again, very warm for many areas. Bit more focus further southwards today, but still warm further northwards as well. And then as we head into Friday, maybe not quite as warm as this, maybe more towards 21, 22, 23, but still above average and still very pleasant for the time of year. But of course, we do have the risk of thunderstorms, and we do have 2 warnings issued, one for Friday and one for Saturday. You can see this warning through Friday is from midday until 8 PM, covering much of central, southern and southwestern parts of England and into parts of South Wales, and just touching the West Midlands as well. You can see while many places will remain dry, thunderstorms and heavy showers could cause some disruption on Friday in a few places. A few thundery showers may be present across southern and southeast England early on Friday, but from the middle of the day, they're expected to develop more widely within the warning area. So many areas will remain dry, but where those thundery showers do occur, they will bring frequent lightning, gusty winds, potentially some large hail, and some spells of heavy rain. 15 to 25 millimetres within an hour, maybe 30 to 40 millimetres in a few hours, and you can see it will tend to ease during the evening. So a classic thunderstorm outbreak in these regions. Nothing too severe, but locally it could be severe. And you can see, looking at the warning, it is high likelihood or medium likelihood and lower end of the impact matrix. So it is looking very likely we see these storms occur. It's just quite a lot of uncertainty how intense they'll be and how widespread they'll be as well. Now into Saturday, got a little bit more confidence in these storms, a bit more widespread, covering pretty much all of Wales, much of central, western and all of southwestern England. And you can see again, it's from 1 AM until midnight on Saturday. Similar sort of warning, some areas will remain dry, but thunderstorms and heavy showers could cause some disruption. Again, we're looking at potentially 20 to 40 millimetres in less than an hour, maybe 50 to 70 millimetres over the course of a few hours. So higher rainfall totals, and that's because there could be more thunderstorms and they could be more severe. You can see the impact matrix is different. It's medium impact and very low likelihood. So actually higher impact is possible on Saturday. But because of the time frame at the moment, it's not got that high of a likelihood, and that could change in the next 24 to 36 hours. So potentially could get upgraded a little bit. Don't think an amber is warranted at this stage from the looks of the latest runs, but you never know. We'll have to wait and see what tomorrow does bring. Now, if you look at the latest UKV, you can see as we head into Friday, those storms start to take off around lunchtime, shifting further westwards, fairly scattered and fairly small in size, but darker reds within them, so it could be pretty intense, these pop-up storms. Eventually fading away through Friday evening, and for most it's dry through Friday into Saturday. A few showers along the south coast, and then as we head into the morning and into the afternoon, a bit more widespread in terms of these showers and storms, and then more activity happening overnight. Could be pretty severe there into the early hours of Sunday, more in terms of heavy torrential rain than maybe intense thunderstorms, but again, we'll have to wait and see exactly how that does develop. And then as we head into Sunday, more heavy thundery rain, and then you can slowly see it turning unsettled into Tuesday with that wind direction shifting, and you can see cold air starting to make a return. And this is as that low starts to develop. So even though here it doesn't look massively unsettled, not loads of rain, it is only in its infancy in development, this area of low pressure. If we look at the mean sea level pressure, you can see it is dropping. Nothing ridiculous yet, but it is slowly dropping, and we will see further advances in off the Atlantic. Now, if you look at the max temperatures over the coming days, you can see Friday still very pleasant in quite a few areas, still getting into the 20s, 22, 23 towards London, but it's going to be a little bit more scattered because of the thunderstorms. As we head into Saturday, temperatures are still again pretty decent, 22, 23, but it is dropping off a little bit more as we start to see the rainfall moving in. For Sunday, again, could see a 20, 21, but many more regions into the mid to high teens. And then into Monday, dropping off again, 21 maybe in the east, and still high teens in England, maybe Wales, but further northwards in northern England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and the Republic of Ireland, much, much cooler indeed. And you can see it's Tuesday, that warm air has retreated all the way towards the south coast. Look over the higher ground of Scotland, only 4 or 5 degrees, so massive shift. Remember, yesterday we saw Aviemore got up to 25 degrees. In this run here, by Tuesday afternoon, looks like it could be only 6 or 7, so massive drop off coming, and those colder air masses will be returning for all towards the end of next week. Again, uncertain exactly how cold it will be, but definitely looks like it could be turning much, much chillier, proper autumnal conditions arriving after we've had a little burst of summer this week. Now, if you look at the Rome run, again, I just wanted to show you this, as this is one of the better runs, high resolution, and you can see as we head into Friday, again, it does support lots of energy, lots of cape, but thunderstorms are fairly isolated and a bit more widespread in the west and southwest through the afternoon. So we're not expecting a major outbreak, but what we are expecting are quite severe, heavy storms within a large area. Again, just very uncertain where they will occur and the stature of them. But you can see even here, 4 p.m. on Friday, quite a severe area cluster towards Western England and Southwest England towards Wales as well. And then slowly into Saturday, we start to see a more widespread outbreak along the south coast as we do see more heavy showers and storms heading up from northern France and from the Channel. Again, it'll be interesting to look at the run tomorrow as we're able to see this a little bit better and a little bit more widespread into the weekend. Now, if you go into the longer range now, we're able to see it's all going to change into next week. High pressure still in control at the moment. That little cut-off low is pushing northwards, that trough, and that produces thunderstorms through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. But we're not expecting anything major until later next week. You can see Monday, Tuesday, low pressure starts to develop, but it's in its infancy, as I said. It's really by Wednesday into Thursday, that low really turns up, and you can see it does go really quite horrible indeed through Thursday into Friday. Really tight isobars. Again, some quite strong winds in there. I wouldn't say name storm level, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some wind warnings for this. If we look at those wind gusts, you can see they are strong, 50 to 80 mile per hour potential wind gusts, kilometers per hour. So we're looking at 30, 40, 50 miles per hour within this. So yeah, could be pretty strong indeed and disruptive potentially. Again, this is one run. Other runs have got a low pressure here, but nowhere near as intense. Eventually, it pulls away quite quickly into Saturday. So it is a system that moves through quite quickly, but it just unlocks the door to cold northerly winds and then high pressure topples. High pressure topple in that cold air. Wouldn't be surprised to see frost developing. We'll look at the afternoon temperatures, hardly getting into the double digits. And overnight, look at that, widely down towards the mid to low single digits, many areas towards freezing, even colder than it was a couple of weeks ago. Not only is the air mass colder, but we do have longer nights now, probably about like 20 or 30 minutes compared to a week or two ago, sorry. So it is going to be very cold if this pattern did come off. Very chilly indeed. However, GFS on a little bit of a mad one, right into early October. It produces a proper Indian summer pattern with southerly winds and intense hot air mass. Again, it looks like a fairly standard southerly plume during the summer months, but this is early October. Look at the temperature deviation, around 12 degrees above average. And if we do zoom in to the United Kingdom, look, we'd be looking at temperatures in the mid to high 20s. And I've said this in the past few videos, to see temperatures in the mid to high 20s into early October, you need a very hot air mass. And here we've got a 10 to 12 degree above average air mass. So not surprised it's getting this hot. Again, a little bit of an anomalous run. I don't think this will come off, but it is plausible. We've had it happen in the past few years. We have seen these plumes in October, but it is going to be one to keep an eye on. We've got a lot of unsettled and cold weather between now and then, though, to deal with. Now, if you compare it to the latest GM, broadly very similar over the coming days, that trough pushing up from the south, turning unsettled into the middle of next week, and it's really as that low gets going through Thursday into Friday that it does turn very unsettled. You can see it does clear quite quickly, but we do still have that northerly wind, unsettled and cold. The one thing is, with a northerly flow, it does look very unsettled here, but because that air mass is Arctic originating, it is going to be cold, it's going to feel very cold, but it's going to be a fairly dry air mass. So actually, away from coasts, I wouldn't actually expect too much in the way of rain from showers. You can see lots of showers here, but you see inland, not so much, and that is because it is a very cold, dry air mass. You see the dew points are very cold. You see down towards the low single digits. And then if we look to the overnight temperatures, again, very cold indeed. Wouldn't be surprised to see frosts, maybe even towards southern England. So yeah, looking quite strong agreement of pretty cold conditions all the way into next week, into the weekend, before eventually high pressure topples in for maybe just about Saturday, but definitely for Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, not looking great at this stage, but Saturday, Sunday looking much better. Now, to finish by looking at the latest ECMWF, again, we do have that trough pushing up from the south, turning unsettled during the middle of next week. Again, that low does develop pretty severe into Thursday, but it's really into Friday, where it eventually clears, takes a bit longer, lingers across eastern Scotland, and then it leaves us with northerly flow for Saturday. Sunday, high pressure builds back in. Looks a lot better, but it is cold with those upper air temperatures. If you look at those overnight temperatures, widely towards the low single digits, if not towards freezing there. So yeah, really not great through Saturday and Sunday, potentially even frosts in places. Now, to finish by looking at the latest ensembles, you can see this well shown above average over the next couple of days. Precipitation picking up through the weekend with more thunderstorms, and precipitation stays moderate and turns perhaps potentially even pretty high into next week as those temperatures return to average and then drop well below average into next weekend, around 5 to 7 or even 8 degrees below average from some runs, as we do start to see that Arctic air moving in. A bit of a return to average expected as we head into the longer range. Precipitation remains moderate, and you can see the operational run is off the charts. So again, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But again, that's why I said there's not too much support for that GFS run. Look at the 2 meter temperatures. Warm at the moment, on a slow trend down towards average again, sort of mid to high teens. It's kind of average this time of year, and then back into the low teens or high single digits, especially further northwards into next weekend, as we do start to see very cold air taking over. And then finally, if we look at the latest ECMWF ensembles, the midday run's only just coming out, so we'll look at the midnight run. Very, very similar actually. Won't really talk through this much because it is exactly the same. High precipitation as we head into the weekend at the start of next week. Temperatures not too cold yet, but into the latter part of next week, into the weekend, upper air temperatures turning colder, actually turning a bit drier at the surface. Again, that's expected with that drier, colder air mass, before eventually returns back towards average. So a lot going on over the next week to 10 days. Things could still change quite drastically, so make sure you do stay tuned and do stay safe over the coming days if you are in that area that could be affected by thunderstorms. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.